Hi everybody, this is Joseph Sharon and I'm back again with another book review. I just finished Matthew Reilly's One Impossible Labyrinth, and of course this is part of the Scarecrow series, which I had not heard of the Scarecrow series before, but I had heard of the Seven Wonders, so I thought, of course, that's where I know Matthew from. And Matthew's work is just outstanding. I reviewed it before, but this didn't mention Daedalus, but it did have quite a bit of the Theseus myth, which I'm going to go ahead and read here. Easton nodded enthusiastically. Of course, Miss Lily. It's great legend. And so he began. When famed warrior Hercules won great games at Underworld for King Zeus, Zeus go to Supreme Labyrinth. At that time, Zeus's brother, Poseidon, was king of sea. As homage to his all-powerful brother, Poseidon sent his son, the Prince Theseus, to accompany Zeus into Labyrinth. Theseus, bad man, cruel prince. He bring 3 other minor princes with him as royal escorts to Zeus. Zeus's other brother was Hades, king of the underworld. Hades give Zeus a gift of 9 minotaurs to act as porters in Labyrinth to carry his supplies and equipment. The leader of this team of minotaurs was Asterion. Asterion, smart minotaur, honest and hard-working. He very proud to do his task. After Zeus used Emperor's root to reach throne and prevent Omega, he go leave. But Prince Theseus tells Zeus that he wished to linger behind, to take final look at amazing Labyrinth. So Zeus leaves. Theseus stays with 3 prince friends, and suddenly they begin killing Minotaur porters. Wait, he starts killing them? Lily exclaimed. Why? For sport. Many royals think Minotaurs dumb animals. Good for nothing except simple labor and killing. Theseus, one of those. What happened then? Jack asked quietly. Easton said, Theseus and the other princes proceed to slaughter minotaurs, laugh and chortle as they hunt them in passageways of Labyrinth using arrows and swords. Awful scene. Minotaurs scream and wail, and they're butchered by young princes. But one minotaur, Asterion, he escape. Not only escape, but he actually disarm and kill one of Theseus's friends, wounds 2 others, and manages to cut Theseus himself in single combat. With Theseus knocked out and wounded, Asterion hurried outside as he emerged from Labyrinth. He sees Zeus from the distance, arriving back at his camp of tents. Asterion flee in other direction, over mountains and into desert. When Theseus emerged from Labyrinth, he tells Zeus' false tale that Minotaurs revolted and started to attack a princess, so he had to kill them only just to escape with his life. Theseus tells Zeus himself that he himself murdered his 2 wounded companions, finished them off, so that they not able to reveal the truth of what happened. From that day on, Theseus considered great hero, the man who slayed the murderous Minotaurs who probably would have killed Zeus too. Also from that day, Minotaurs considered deceitful, untrustworthy, and treated badly, lower than dogs. Because Victor's write the history, said Jack. Yeah, and I like that part quite a bit because there's a lot of truth in history too. Victor's writing the story rather than those who lose the battle. But this is supreme adrenaline fuel, and it was absolutely extremely phenomenally written. I really like how Matthew will delve you as a reader headfirst into a tale, particularly when he goes into Theseus's tale with Easton telling the story as only Easton can. But he stays true to the mythology there with Theseus, and I was surprised that there's no red thread mentioned. It's just Theseus and Asterion. So I thought, well, yeah, that's all very common in the mythology. The red thread is the one thing that that changes. You get sometimes Perseus and Andromeda with that one. So in this case, it would be Theseus. But it's the one myth with Asterion, not the red thread myth. But I thought, oh, good. So that at least they kept one of the labyrinthine myths in this particular story, which is, it makes more sense because of the complexity of the labyrinth that's presented. And what's even better is he has illustrations of what the labyrinth looks like. I mean, I could picture it in my mind, but it's so far beyond that. This thing would make MC Escher cry and spin in absolute delirium. But needless to say, I thought that this was absolutely sensational. I loved every bit of it. I finished it in 2 days. I could not put it down. The man knows his mythology. He knows how the landmarks work, how temples work, labyrinths, the mechanization, the engineering, the architecture. Everything here is just so meticulously plotted, and just how he weaves that all together to make a very cohesive and just unbelievable plot. This plot is this stuff of epics. And how the villains meet their demise as well, and it's very fitting for each villain how they meet their demise. And you don't really have to read the other books in the Scarecrow series, but it helps. And I didn't have to because I figured, oh, this character actually caused this to occur, and it reminded me quite a bit of Maze Hunter meeting Indiana Jones, National Treasure, and the fact that in this case it's more along the lines of an Avengers sort of event horizon, and there's no turning back, and they have to stop the Omega event. Omega really doesn't care one way or the other, which is one thing that's mentioned in the book, but needless to say, it has an exceptionally happy ending, which I absolutely love. I love books that are like this, that have happy endings, because I'm full of schmaltz and I can't help myself. But I love the book. It was absolutely tremendous. It was just a rollicking ride, roller coaster, full of just emotions from despair to hope and everything in between. And if you like Reilly, I would definitely pick this up. You don't have to read the other books in Scarecrow, but like I said, it probably adds a little bit of context. But I understood what was going on, despite the fact that this is the only one that I've read. This is the final book in the Scarecrow series. Beyond that, I just wanted to plug the AU, the Sonic Underground. It's the Sonic Underground Sonic Saturday Morning Sonic, and Sonic Prime, and just different franchises that have been launched into this massive multiverse sort of world and realm. It actually all takes place in Mobius, and a lot of the fans believe that the Mobius itself is future Earth, which I think is actually true, because with what we have incorporated with the AU, it fits, and it just makes sense. Honestly, to me, it makes absolute sense that this would occur and evolution would go to this length and everything would adapt in time. I really don't have a lot to say about our AU right now. My computer's down, so I don't have any ability to actually start writing anything new, but when I do, it'll be the the Amun-Rapi Egyptian saga that we're working on, with a little bit of Sonic's past, how they actually got those powers to begin with from mystic elements, sort of like with the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which I didn't. I love the new TMNT with the mystical items. I think it's a really good kind of twist to an old tale that we've come to know and love. Some of the newer elements, the woker elements, I don't care for, but despite that, I love it. But we're throwing that in there. We're going to do a one-off Fire Force, because I just started watching Fire Force and I absolutely love Fire Force now. So it's going to get thrown in there as kind of a one-off. But beyond that, I can't really say that much else about the AU. It's consistent. We did have a happy ending with Robotnik, although the Robotnik line never really truly ended. Though Robotnik's line, in this case, there's one Robotnik alive. I'm not going to give any spoilers away about that particular Robotnik. But there's a new evil afoot. Let me just put it that way. It's no longer Robotnik. Beyond that, I can't really say that much else about our AU, because Bright Star wanted me to plug it, so I am doing that for her. I am writing a new story, cryptid story, and that's pretty much it. So until next time, live on, prosper. Ciao, tutti.